What if time itself doesn't exist? A minute ticks by. You blink, stretch. Yawn? But does time really pass? Or are we all just fooling ourselves? Let's look at some equations to find out. You probably think of time as a tick-tock on the clock. For physicists, though, the tick-tock comes from our human brains trying to make sense of the world around us. They describe time with an equation. This one says energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. That tells you how much energy is in a thing based on its mass. And this other one says that mass equals energy divided by the speed of light squared. They're just different ways of saying the same thing. But here's the weird part. Neither of these equations has anything to do with time. Time isn't even a variable in either of them. They work perfectly well without any mention of time. So time itself doesn't have to exist. It might just be something we made up. Now, if you don't like that idea, there's always part two. Einstein taught us that there's no such thing as now. Suppose you're on a rocket ship shooting through space, chasing a friend on a different rocket ship. You pass by each other and your friend asks, "What time is it?" You check your fancy space watch and say, "It's 10 a.m. Your friend looks at her watch and says, "It's 2 p.m. You're both right! There is no way to say which of you is right or wrong. Because there is no agreed upon now. There's no universal now. All moments in time are equally real. But maybe those equations weren't about time either. Maybe they were actually about space. Could it be that only time is real, but space isn't? No. Einstein showed us that space and time intertwined in a four-dimensional fabric are equally real. Space-time can be thought of almost like a big block party. People move around at the party, but the party itself doesn't go anywhere. So the location of the party could be thought of as being the fourth dimension. One person could travel 3 blocks north, and another person could travel 2 blocks east. But if we erased all the people from the party and looked at only the location of the party, it would look like nothing happened. The difference between the two locations is only 3 blocks north and 2 blocks east. But if we kept track of how fast each person was moving, then we'd need to take that into account to figure out where they ended up. This is called the space-time diagram. If we ignore how fast someone is moving, their path looks like a straight line. But if we take their speed into account, their path curves. The person who started out traveling faster ended up further away from where they started than the person who started out slower. Okay, so space and time together are real, but maybe it's only the change from one moment to the next. That's real. So what about quantum physics? These equations work without time. This one describes how likely it is that a quantum particle will end up in a particular place after a certain amount of time. It takes into account things like the mass of the particle and how far away from its starting point we remeasuring. But it doesn't contain any time variable. In fact, you can rewrite the equation so that it doesn't even have a t, a symbol that stands for time. So time isn't even a hidden variable in this equation. It's not like time is real, but we're not measuring it. We literally don't need the concept of time to make sense of this equation. These equations, the ones that don't require time, they describe the behavior of everything in the universe. So maybe time is just an illusion. Maybe there's no such thing as past, present, or future. Maybe only our memories and our hopes and dreams give the illusion of time passing. Even Einstein was bothered by the lack of a universal now, he asked. If I throw an apple away, does it really go away? Since nothing can travel faster than light, he figured that there had to be some real time going on. But those equations, the ones that don't include time, they still work. If you want to feel your mind being blown, try not to think of this block of cheese as existing outside of time. Try to imagine it as existing without time. Does time exist? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you subscribe for more videos about shocking science